Hey y'all, your girl is back. I know it's been a minute since you've seen me. I'm all good. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm thriving. Um, First podcast since October, I think. So, it's been a little minute, but I am happy to be here. And I am especially happy to be here with my brother from another mother, Bilal Rasul. And so give me a minute. We're going to do introductions. We're going to do all of those things. But first, I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to listen to this dope conversation. So we're going to get some sharing done. Bilal, if you want to do some sharing, go for it. And we're going to start in just like 30 seconds.
All right. Let's see here. All right.
Let's see. Maybe I need to do it for my computer. You know what they say, when you're looking for something to go right, something always goes wrong, right?
Yeah. You have to always be prepared.
That's right. Technology is the best, except for when it's not.
That's right.
So we're going to get all of this together real quick. And let's see if I can do it from here. Manage video. Let's see. Maybe in the settings. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get my video to go public, and it's giving me a hard time. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. I know for sure following the video, I am able to have it go public, and maybe that's what I will do. I don't want to take up too much of our time. I'm gonna try one more time, and if I can't get it to go public, then I'll take care of that after we finish talking.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm not going to stress it. It's not doing what I needed to do. But like I said, following the airing, I certainly can take care of that. But beyond that, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, and we're live on LinkedIn. Again, I'm with Bilal Rasul. He is with the Prison Survivor Network. We have become fast friends. Your voice is powerful, and it resonates. It's one of those voices that vibrates within one system. There are not a lot of voices out there like that. When you speak, we know who it is who's speaking, and you can hear the passion behind your voice. I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then I'm going to actually play a video from your Facebook page of you in Morocco. So go ahead and introduce yourself, share as much as you want, and then we're going to get started.
Okay. Peace. So my name is Bilal Rasul. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a brother. I'm a son. I'm a part of an organization called the Prison Survivor Network. I'm also a prison survivor. I'm also a part of an organization called Second Chance Books. This organization, Second Chance Books, what it does is it sends books into the prison systems, Islamic books, just to try to educate people on the teachings of Islam. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of well-wishers, and I'm grateful to be on this platform today. And I left prison in January 2023, January 23rd, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a physical prison, but while I was in that physical prison and prior to that, I also had was in other types of prisons, and maybe we could talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. We'll get into that. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Let's play it from over here.
You guys, I just pulled.
So you can kind of set the stage for this. You're in Morocco, right? In this
Yes.
video.
So I'm in Morocco. I'm at a place, if I'm not mistaken, it's in Ashkor, Morocco.
Okay.
And this place has a beautiful mountain. It has waterfalls. And me and my wife, we were astounded. So I asked her to record me just to be able to talk about my experience in that particular country, at that particular place. And you'll be watching it very soon.
All right.
Peace. So my wife and I, we are in Ashkor, Morocco. We at the waterfalls. It's a waterfall, beautiful waterfalls. They got the small one down here, the larger one up there, but we're not going up there. So I remember when the judge sentenced me to my time, I had a total of 24 years, 24 to 31 years. And while I was incarcerated, I used to dream about exploring this world. Take a look. I used to dream about these things, and I never allowed anyone to tell me that I'm stuck in Statesville, North Carolina, to tell me that I'm stuck in America. No, to tell me that I wouldn't make it out of prison, or to tell me that I would come back to prison. I would let that go on. In fact, it didn't even go in my ear. I would ignore them. And so preparation, hard work, consistency, dreaming big. And I'm here with my wife, and we are enjoying these things, the beautiful things that this world has to offer. So this video is meant to inspire again, not for bragging and boasting. We don't have time for that. For those hearing my voice, dream big. Wake up early every morning before everyone to start your day. Eat healthy, exercise. Take some time out the day for the Most High. Dream big and always be royal. Peace.
So I saw that video for the first time today, and it was really, really inspiring, because one thing I always say is that the thing that really benefited me coming from Harlem, the thing that really benefited me growing up, was understanding that my life was not my 4-block radius.
That's right.
That what was happening in my hood, in the hood, growing up in the crack epidemic, was not the end all be all for who I am, who I was, excuse me, and where I would end up. And so when I saw that short video, like I said, your voice carries. And I found it to be really, really powerful, because there are so many people who feel disenfranchised from the world, right? Who are stunted by being in prison for 20 plus years and come home and don't really have goals, don't really have, direction. And the first thing I want to say to you is congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Congratulations on coming home 3 years. You said you've been home for 3 years, and you were down for 23 years, 5 months, and 2 weeks.
Yes.
And that's such a powerful statement. First of all, you was raised by prison.
Yeah.
21 when you went in, 22 when you were sentenced. Yeah. Your formative lives, your brain finished growing incarcerated. And to continue to hold on to hope, even in the midst of that, to continue to strive and to remember the dream of the outside.
Yeah.
inside, right? To remember the dream of the outside inside.
That's right.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
What kept your eye on the prize?
There was a few things. Number one, I wanted to be home, to make it out of prison, to be able to hug my mother. And so, tomorrow, by the way, makes the 1 year, I guess you could say, anniversary that she's been gone. She's been dead. May Allah have mercy upon her. But I wanted to make it home to her, to show her that the Bilal that went to prison is not the Bilal. I talked to her about changing. I'm a different person. I'm not going to, I'm going to do things when I get out. And I wanted to show, I didn't want to just talk about it. I wanted for her to see me outside of prison. So that, as well as just wanting better in life, and wanting to right my wrongs.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to come home and to be able to show the young people in the communities, the middle-aged people in the communities, as well as older people, that we don't necessarily have to be defined by our past. We are the author. We can be the author of our own. We are the author of our own stories.
That's right. That's right.
I wanted my story to have a great ending, and so it's a little bit of everything, and it's not complete. My story is not final yet.
Absolutely. It's something that you said, and you hear different variations of the statement, but we are the authors of our own stories, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, we have to take accountability and responsibility for our story.
That's right.
Far too many of us let other people write our story.
That's right.
Or let the opinions of other people bring us to the point where we start living what they say.
That's right.
Being down as long as you were convicted, you openly share of armed robbery and assault. Being down for what you were down for and for the time that you were down. How do you shake the stigma and the stereotype that comes with that?
I used to battle that while I was in prison. I was embarrassed because I never saw my life. I never, prior to maybe after I graduated high school in 97, no one never would have been able to convince me that a few years later I would end up in prison for something I did do for the amount of time that I ended up having. And so I was super embarrassed and really was in a state of shock once the doors closed on me, meaning in prison I was convicted and all of that stuff. But while I was in there, I recognized my wrongs, and I understood that I'm human.
Right.
So I understood that I refuse really to be defined by my prison number was 0532913. And so when I wasn't, as mature, I would constantly go to the hole, or what we call the box, or segregation, because that was my way. Like if an officer says something, even if he was within his rights, meaning I had to tuck my shirt in at certain prisons, I would often sometimes get angry because I was in prison, and I took it to be that he or she was just trying to shove that stigma of being in prison in my face. So I would, sometimes verbally say things that I had no business saying, and end up going to the hole. I was bucking the system, so to speak. So I'm saying all that to say, once I became comfortable with being in prison, not comfortable physically and all these other things, but understanding, okay, man, you did what you did. Now what? Now, like, what you going to do now? You accept it. Now you have to work on yourself and go home. It became a little easier and became a little easier to the point that when I did come home, and for instance, just say if I was having some technology issues, maybe with my phone and my family or friends weren't around, that I had no problem telling maybe some of the people at the store. The first time I went to get a pair of glasses, the lady, she asked me at the end, can I fill out a QR? Can I do a survey?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking she's going to give me a pencil and a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So when I seen that QR code, I didn't know what to do. I was stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I said, listen, I just came home from prison. Can you help me? So I was comfortable with really saying that, because I know to this day, like I knew then, that I'm not going to be defined by those actions, by those robberies and those assaults,
Mm-hmm.
and everything else, and all the name calling and different things of that nature that I encountered in prison from staff. I did not want to keep that stigma on me. So, so that's that.
I hear you. And God bless you for it.
Appreciate that.
What did you learn?
I learned many things. I think one of the most important lessons is, of course, I learned the importance of who really care for you.
Mm.
For me, the two greatest things in my life at that particular time, and even now, was a relationship with the Most High,
mm-hmm.
and my family.
Yeah.
And I believe that the Most High, I do believe that he knew and know that as much as I needed him, I needed my mom and my family as well.
Yeah.
But I understood it. I understood that just because I committed a crime or crimes, that life didn't stop. So at one point, when I would feel a certain way by maybe some of my friends, and maybe even some family members who weren't as supportive as I thought they would be,
mm-hmm.
I would feel a certain way. And then I had to realize, listen, life goes on. None of them told me to do what I did. In fact, none of them knew. And so I had to kind of grow up in that sense. And I would also say freedom, just the ability to be able to, right now I'm drinking a cup of coffee.
And I know coffee, Bilal.
We talked about the get later. So I wanted to make sure that that I wasn't yawning and stuff like that. But just being able to do this, to wear my own clothes, so all of these things. So just the freedom aspect, and then wanting to experience what this world has to offer, wanting to get married, wanting to understand about credit and all of these things. So really, it was a whole lot.
Yeah,
it was a whole lot.
I hear you. So you're a meat inspector.
Yes.
And you inspect halal meat.
Yes.
You get up at the ass crack of dawn.
Yes.
Yeah. When we were texting back and forth yesterday, and I said, "But what time you tuck in?" And you said, "I'm getting ready to go to bed now." And I looked at the time, and it was 6 o'clock. I was like, "This man for real."
Yeah.
Then when you said you got to get up at 2:30, I understood.
Yes.
I stopped talking about you in my head when you told me what time you got to get up in the morning.
Yes. Yes.
What's the biggest difference you found from life inside to life outside? Because, like I said, you spent your formative years. Your brain finished growing under extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
Your brain finished growing in the most restrictive environment one could have.
Yes.
And probably one of the most violent environments. And I'm not just talking about, fisticuffs and that kind of violence.
Right.
But for a young Black man, the penal system in this country is one of the most violent places you can find yourself.
Right.
So Inside Out, tell me about it. What was that like?
So I would say the two things that coming home that probably was the most shocking to me is, and I'm constantly reminded of this, really just the mentality of some of the people. I know when I went in, of course, again, guilty of my crimes, I still had, and I'm not justifying that, I was guilty of my crimes, but I still had a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I watch the news, and I see, some of the things that's going on with a lot of the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
And I started seeing that prior to going home, because I was my last 5 years, I was like in the lowest level prison.
Okay.
And I started seeing like, guys who may have had only like 6 months in prison and stuff like that. A lot of young guys going in and coming out. And I had seen like, wow, like these guys are different, more, different than maybe, my age when I, my teenage years, their mentality was a little different. And so that was like shocking as far as just not having maybe the consciousness, so to speak, that I had coming up. And again, I had the music, I had community and different things in that nature. And the other thing I would mention is how time don't stop.
Yeah.
Like for prison, it slows down.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes 10 to 15 years can go by. We can finally look in that mirror and start seeing gray and start seeing bags in our eyes and different things in that nature. But out here, it's, it doesn't stop. So if I'm in a neighborhood, I have went somewhere a couple of days ago, and there was a store on the corner. It used to be on the corner. And I passed this place, and I probably passed it quite a few times, just not really paying attention. But this particular day, I paid attention. It was like it was flattened, parking lot. And I'm just like, man, we're here today and we're going tomorrow. And that's really just the nature of this world. So I would say just the mentality of the people, not just young people, but just the mentality of the people, how it's different, as well as just understanding time does not stop.
Yeah. Something you said 10, 15 years can go by and you just start seeing gray hair.
Yeah.
I would imagine that being down that long, it almost feels like Groundhog Day, right? Like you live that same day over and over and over again.
Yeah.
What did you do to pass your time?
So for me, I learned, and I had mentioned earlier that I had been to segregation, the hole or the box, quite a few times. And while I was there were times, when we were limited on what we can read and all of these things. And so I learned how to go about my day and not be bored.
Okay.
Not be bored. I learned to be comfortable being to myself.
Okay.
I learned that, I didn't necessarily need to talk to anybody and different things in that nature. I had my own little programs or systems that I created in order just to survive day after day after day. So for me, for the most part, it was the same thing throughout the years. I would wake up. If I was in the hole, I would wake up and save my meals and basically stay up all night. I would get up, save my breakfast, lay back down, lunch, and I would get up around dinner time. And then I would stay up all night, reading, exercising, and different things of that nature. And when I was in regular population, which was the majority of my time, I got up early, read, maybe watch a little bit of sports. And so that's what I had a routine, but I wanted to make sure every day that I at least exercised and I was able to read something and learn something. And during the time that I was reading and learning, that was my sacred time. So I didn't want nobody, for the most part, really talking to me and different things of that nature, because I needed that. I needed that time.
And then you got out.
And
you came home.
Yeah.
And we damn near got flying cars.
Yeah.
And we got touchscreen cell phones that's the size of the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
And you have to find a job and you have to do all of these things. What was the outside part? Who helped you acclimate and how did you find the fortitude, the strength, whatever word you want to use? How did you get to the point where you and I sit here now?
For me, the support system. I'm grateful to have had the support system in prison and then coming home, not only just family, but extended family, so to speak. So I'm grateful for that support system. So as far as with the technology, in prison, I never really worried about coming home, learning how to use a phone because to me, that was like some people, they would ask me, are you what about the technology? I'm like, bro, I can learn that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Even if I didn't have the support system. So
Right.
the transition really wasn't difficult. I wanted to be home. I wanted to be home so bad and enjoy time with my family and to be able to create a family, that the transition has not been difficult. And the support system, when I came home, I was able to get a job. Brother Shahid, if you're listening to this, Brother Shahid Hassan, and pardon me, I can't remember the name of your business, but the point is, he ended up giving me a job quick. And when he asked me, he was like, he said, when he told me, I said, listen, how much would I be making an hour? He has reconstruct houses and different things of that nature. So he asked me, he said, when I asked him that, he said, how much would you be making? I asked him, how much would I be making? He said, $15 an hour. How is that? And I had just left the job making $1 a day.
Hold on a second.
All right.
What are you doing, AJ? Sorry, technical difficulties.
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is, it just seemed like everything was lined up. So I really didn't have a lot of difficulty, to the point where I was stressed out. Mm-hmm. I had and have a great support system, family and extended family.
That's what's up. At the beginning of the podcast, you talked about the physical prison.
Yes.
But you also said there were other prisons.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
So I grew up, our family, we grew up extremely poor. I was thinking about this earlier. At times our when we were younger, our electricity would be cut off, and it would be cut off so long, for a few months, that when my mom was finally able to pay the bill, we would forget that we would have lights, because we're so used to being in the dark. So we would be like, at least for me, I would be like, oh, shoot, we can turn the light on. I forgot.
Wow.
So, hand-me-down clothes, asking neighbors and relatives, of course, for food. So we grew up extremely poor. And this is in New Jersey. But when we moved to Statesville, North Carolina, we ended up, we were in the projects. I know about homelessness. I know about drugs in the house. I know about domestic violence and all of these things. So when we moved to Statesville, North Carolina, and we were able to get, the projects, I was able to have my own room and all of these things. It was like a new beginning for us. And so I learned how to, in order to not be picked on, I had to start really clowning others. I had like these defense mechanisms.
Right.
Let me clown somebody else
I'm gonna get you before you get me.
Exactly. And so, so I wasn't really comfortable in my own skin, in other words. So that was one prison that I would say that I was in, like mentally not being really comfortable in my own skin. And it didn't really take me long to become comfortable,
right.
Where I didn't have to get the person before they get me. I remember times in prison where, that's super and hyper masculine, toxic masculinity, if I could use those terms. Some people say that's a contradiction of terms, but maybe that's another discussion. But the point is, just being in those type of environments where if I did something to someone and said something to someone and I really had no business saying it, I didn't have a problem in front of anybody saying, listen, man, I'm sorry. I said so-and-so, or I did so-and-so. So I became comfortable in my own skin. So that was a prison. I went through a state of depression prior to going to prison. I didn't know the clinical terms, but a very close relative of mine and I, a really close relative of mine ended up accusing me of doing something where the police were involved.
Right.
And I went through a state of depression. Again, not understanding the clinical terms. I was afraid, not really, I wasn't afraid, but I guess my pride and my ego almost to ask for help. You know what I mean? Like my family, people were asking me, am I all right? And I'll be like, no, things are fine. We're going to get through this. And I really wasn't fine. So I would say depression, and just being comfortable in my own skin. So I know these are some of the prisons that I was dealing with versus right now, I'm not going through depression. Let me say this, excuse me. I would say trauma because of what I did go through as a child. Mm-hmm. And then of course the depression, which is a point of trauma. And just to be totally candid, let me take that back. I don't think I'm going through depression now, but I do know that I still suffer from trauma.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And which is another prison.
Right. And PTSD is real.
Yes.
Right. There's no question about that. And if you sat here with me right now and said you weren't experiencing PTSD, I would ask you to go see a therapist.
Okay.
To go talk to somebody. Yes. So you got to name it, you got to claim it to be able to eradicate it, right? Like yes. you have to be able to put your finger on it, right? Yes. I want to go back for a minute. Lamp got knocked over and all the rest of that. My dog ate my son's food, y'all. And she ran in my room trying to get away, but he got her. So yeah. Like I told you at the outset, this is a real house. This is we live in real ways. So excuse the little mishap there. But you said quite a few things, and I'm going to continue to congratulate you. I'm going to continue to big you up. You came home, and then a year later, your mother passed away.
No, my mother. Okay. My mom, she died. I came home January 23rd, 2023. She died December the 2nd, which is tomorrow, 2024. So roughly 2 years after being home.
Okay. So what did she learn new about you in the 2 years she had you back?
Mom, I want to say this first. I miss my mom. And maybe I am going through depression because I get sad about her a lot. It's difficult for me to look at her pictures. Mm-hmm. Sometimes my sisters will share pictures in a group text, and I'll look and I got to shut it off real quick.
It's grief. Yes. I lost my dad 6 years ago, and some days I can look at his pictures and some days I can't. And that's a natural stage of grief. Yes. I use a word a lot, grace. Mm-hmm. We must give ourselves grace.
Yes.
And understanding the ebb and flow and the roller coaster that grief is will assist you and help you in that.
Right.
So I encourage you to learn a little bit more about grief because being blue and being depressed is two different things.
Okay.
So explore that some for yourself. But you said sometimes your sister, I cut you off, I apologize. You said sometimes your sister shares pictures, you miss your mom. But what did you show her when you came home?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate that clearing that up. Thank you. But my mom, just everything that I said, me being this new person, I'm a changed man. This is what I want in life. My mom was able to die. May the Most High have mercy upon her. Happy with me.
Amen.
She was able to die happy, and that means more to me because I didn't know if I was going to make it out of prison, if I was going to live to make it out of prison. I didn't know. She told me maybe my first year in prison. She came to visit me. She hugged me at the end of the visit and whispered in my ear. Nobody heard her, but she whispered in my ear and said, I may not be living by the time you come home. And I did not want to hear that. Like, why would she tell me that? But some of the elders in the prison was like, man, she's just being honest. Yeah. So I'm grateful that she was able, that I was able to make it out with her being alive and almost spending 23 months with her. And the thing that I think that I know that made her the happiest Of course, me, I'm not the same person. I'm a better version. This is the son she envisioned, is getting married to my wife.
Amen.
So my mom, before going to Morocco to marry my wife, which was in November of 2024, my mother, she was in the hospital. We didn't realize she was going to die within those next few weeks. I don't think nobody knew that. At least I didn't. But my mom, she told me, she was like, I am so happy in the hospital, like 2 or 3 days before I went to Morocco. I am so happy you are marrying Khalifa. Because what my mother is saying is she wanted me to experience a wife, like a good wife, like a wife. And so even though she didn't get the chance to meet my wife physically, but they were able to talk FaceTime and different things like that. My mother, she died December the 2nd, 2024. We were officially married December the 6th, 2024. So my mother, she was able to learn that and trust that her son was not going back. He wasn't hanging out. He wasn't with the wrong crowds and all of these things. He wasn't out robbing and committing crimes. And just being a good Muslim. I'm a Muslim, by the way, but striving to be a good Muslim. And again, sealing it off with me getting married to my wife. And so I'm grateful. I hate that my mother's not here, but I'm more grateful to God than anything, because he allowed us to share these extra 23 months, and she got to see a better version of me.
And last, I love that. I love that as a parent. I love that as a mother. And if I could take some motherly liberty, I would say it's so much more than just her seeing that you were marrying a good woman.
That's right.
You were experiencing life. You were thriving.
That's right.
Joy.
That's right.
You experienced the pain. You experienced the consequence. You experienced all of those things.
That's right.
But you had an opportunity, or you have the opportunity, and she saw.
That's right.
You come home and keep your word.
That's right.
In love.
That's right.
In bond.
That's right.
And to be in a situation where you're experiencing the joys of life. And as mothers, we talk. So every Sunday we get on a Zoom call and we sit together and we start our week together. Shout out to Dr. Hassan Batts, founder of the Prison Survivor Network, and for bringing us all together. He's a proud prison survivor and a proud mentor. And this Sunday, I was like soft landing.
Yes.
And majority of the individuals who usually join the call are men. The majority of them have been incarcerated, not all. And they looking at me yesterday morning. This is a 6 o'clock in the morning call for me. Yeah. And I'm like soft landing, and they're like, nah, what's that? Like, everybody started making faces at me, but it's the truth. Right. We all deserve that soft landing. We all deserve that place of comfort. And in her absence, Khalifa's that person for you.
Yeah.
And that's what she left knowing.
Yeah. That's right.
That's what she left knowing.
I love the way it's like I was thinking that, but the way you articulated that is perfect. So thank you for that.
No problem. The give back. The Prison Survivor Network is comprised of people of all walks of life, all socioeconomic backgrounds, or genders, or races. Right. It is a group of individuals that recognize, whether physically incarcerated or not, we have all survived the prison.
That's right.
And it is built on positivity. There's nobody we're not having no pissing matches. We're not having no pity parties. Right. We are checking in, checking out, making sure our brothers and sisters are good, and continuing to be motivated and inspired and standing in the gap and speaking truth to power and speaking truth to false. Like we're not biting our tongues when we're conversing with each other, because if nothing else, we keeping each other on their toes. And I'm proud to be a member of the network. I'm grateful to have met Bilal. And I love
Likewise.
the work that we're doing,
Yes.
And so the give back, what does the give back mean to you?
The give back means so much. I mentioned to you, or mentioned in the show earlier, that I wanted to be a probation officer when I was maybe this is prior to the show, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to a community college after I graduated, and I wanted to be a probation officer. I wanted to be a mentor. So it wasn't the type of probation officer that was ready to, send everyone to prison, but it was like a big brother. So I wanted to be that. And after experiencing prison, and the trials and tribulations that comes with that, the things that led me to going to prison, and the stuff that I know that happens in our communities, being a part of this prison survivor network helps me to fulfill the role of a mentor, and to be able to help guide people. And maybe when the guidance may not be so visible, and to be able to go back into the prison system. Everywhere I've been, as for the different prisons in North Carolina, I always run across people that know me. And so I didn't leave prison with a bad name. So they didn't know. Every time people saw me, they never said, "Oh, that's that guy that that left owing me, $200-$300, or that's the guy that stole this from me," and all of these other things. And so just to be able to go back and to share some of my experiences with the people, teaching them the TREE course, which is trauma-informed care, restorative practice, emotional intelligence, and equity. Teaching.
That's right.
Yes, teaching that course. So helping people with trauma, in other words, it means so much to me because I know it means so much to them.
Yeah.
And even taking, when I do get to travel, going to Morocco, showing them those pictures, it's almost like they're living their dreams through me. And that's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. So it means a lot.
You said a lot right there. And one thing that I really appreciate about you is that you're introspective. I'm introspective as well. So if I'm calling you out, I'm calling me out. Like I'm looking at me the same way I'm looking at you. I know there's a locked in feeling when you're in prison.
Yeah.
The first time you went back through those doors as a free man, what did that feel like?
The first time I went back, I went to help. This was a few months after I was released. We went to provide some food for the end of the month of Ramadan celebration. And so I was able to stay the whole hour and a half. And that felt great. I didn't have like there was no like, wow, I'm going back into this. There was no nervousness because I knew I was through with that. I knew that was over with, but just to be able to go back, and the prison that I went back to was a prison that I was actually incarcerated at for like 13 months. Some of the guards recognized me. Of course, many of the Muslims there recognized me. And so it felt great. And it was something that I knew I wanted to do before I left prison, many years before I left prison, but that gave me more inspiration just to be able to go back in so that people can say, listen, man, we can, many times people that leave prison for various reasons, they forget about the guys that's still incarcerated. Or maybe, I don't want to just say men, the women incarcerated as well. So just to be able to go back and know that I kept my word and was able to help people at least for that hour and a half to help them with a good meal and to be able to put a smile on their face meant so much to me.
Is that, you have a dog with a little bark?
That's one of the neighbors.
Oh, I was about to talk about you.
No, that's one of the
You're
neighbors.
so big to have a dog with a little bark.
That's one of the neighbors.
That is profound. That's my ADHD. You see, I get distracted. I hear all
No, you're all
kinds.
right. Yeah.
But that is profound, and it is profound because what I hear in the 45 minutes that we've been conversing is you took accountability.
Yeah.
You understood where you went wrong.
Yeah.
You learned. You took the consequences. You let people pour into you, and you moved on.
Yeah.
You didn't allow your prison experience to completely stunt your growth. That's what I hear.
No.
And then as you continue to grow and move on, you pulled up. So as part of the Prison Survivor Network, you started a book club.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if there was an award for the member who drags the most people onto a Zoom call at 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, it
Yeah.
probably would go to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that about you. I love the idea that you're like, listen, I know this look funny, this don't, it's different. Yeah, we're gonna get up here, we're gonna talk about feelings and all kinds of stuff, right? And then you get them there and they get it.
Mm.
They get it. It's like you on it, you on it, you on it. And I love that about you. What's the dream? What's the goal? What's the future?
So my dreams, I have a few of them, but the biggest goal that I have, I want to be able to start a business or businesses,
Mm-hmm.
but I want something with my last name on it.
Amen.
Yes, yes, something that that I could share, of course, with my family,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to help those who are less fortunate, maybe people coming home from prison.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's just about, again, we're talking about prisons. It's just about taking that leap,
Mm-hmm.
just to be able to, this is something that Dr. Batts talk about all the time. Jonah and everyone in the chat, you talk about it, how we have to be able to take that leap.
Do it scared.
Nobody's going to save us.
Do it scared.
Do it scared. Right.
Do it scared. That's right. I do a lot of things scared.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. But also just being able to travel this world even more. And I want to be able to do that comfortably with my wife. So that takes finances as well.
That's
so
right.
These are just some of the goals that I do have. Just to be able to, I want to be able to start a success, not just start a business, but start something successful, something beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
So not just any type of business. I want it to be a benefit to the people, and just to be able to enjoy the rest of this life that I have.
Yeah, I feel that. I tell people all the time. I see myself in a few years packing a book bag and being on somebody's beach in Senegal, Ghana, someplace out of here. I know one of the things that has always almost been suffocating is that big goal and not considering the baby steps.
That's right.
Right. And so there's it's almost like you come home, right? One day at a time, right? You what you said, 23 years, 5 months, and 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
But you did that time one day at a time.
That's right.
And so one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
You have more contacts than you think.
That's right.
One thing that I can say from what I've seen thus far, the Prison Survivor Network has everything you need to plug into to be successful.
That's right.
And if I had an elevator speech for what that looks like, or for what the Prison Survivor Network is, that would be it, right?
Yes.
And my organization is Be Empowered, right?
Mm.
And the Prison Survivor Network is the epitome of what Be Empowered is. It's
Mm.
exactly that. It
Mm.
is the idea that we have an opportunity, the right, the birthright, the privilege, the God-given right, to be our unadulterated selves.
Right.
And that includes being fallible, that
That's
includes, right, having to atone
that's
and
right.
be forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
That includes not having to suffer and live consequences for the entirety
That's right.
of our lives.
That's right.
And it's so beautiful to see people who own that and are thriving and
That's right.
leaving legacy and building and doing all of those things. And it is the antithesis of what this world tries to tell us we are.
That's right.
What is the antithesis of what this world tries to tell us the depressed is?
That's right.
Those who have PTSD, those who have ADHD, autism, been in prison, been in group homes, been in foster care, those who have had a fight, may have been in a gang, got fired from a job,
That's right.
hell, smelled bad on a day, whatever. It
That's
is
right.
it is the complete and total opposite of that.
That's right.
Hassan Batts is Dr. Hassan
Like,
Batts, prison survivor,
that's right. That's right.
right? Like
Yeah.
Bilal, Rasul is a husband to a beautiful, I don't know her, but I've seen her pictures,
Yeah.
a beautiful Moroccan princess.
Yeah.
And it did nearly 24 years in prison and has a passport
Mm. Mm.
with stamps in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is so filling. I don't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning for everybody.
Right.
I don't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning for everybody and be camera ready.
Right.
Like I be talking to y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I be like having conversation with y'all. And it's important to me to be on those calls. And it's important to me, my brand, Be Empowered. Many people know and have heard me say my slogan, I didn't birth babies to bury them.
Mm.
And initially, that was always my physical babies, my 4 physical babies. But
Right.
beyond that, as that has grown and as I have grown, that has become everything that we just talked about on this call, right? It's my creative genius. It is your creative genius. It is the things that have been seeded, planted, and germinated inside of your spirit that deserve to grow, that you deserve to see come to fruition. And it's amazing to watch.
Yes.
It's amazing to watch
Yes.
because it's the people that have been discounted.
That's right.
My first pregnancy was at 13. By the time I was 22, I had 3 kids with 3 different last names. I was counted out. That was my initial prison, or one of them, right? Like I was counted out because of those circumstances. Growing up in Harlem during the crack epidemic, I wasn't supposed to win. Bilal, you wasn't supposed to win, and you winning, brother.
Yeah. I salute you. I
I'm
salute
so
you.
proud of you.
I appreciate
So
it.
proud of you.
I salute you.
Amen. Like it's and he and we sit here as representatives of a lot of people.
That's right.
We are not the exception.
That's right.
More than you realize, we are the rule.
That's right.
More of us are thriving and doing what we need to do, and as the young people say, standing on business, then this world gives us credit for.
That's right.
And so take Bilal and I as examples that not only can we do it, but you can do it too.
That's right.
And you don't have to do it alone.
That's right.
So the Prison Survivor Network is an open network. Hit the Facebook page. It'll give you all the information you need in order to join our chat, the group. Get your morning medicine from Dr. Batts.
That's right.
He be banging us in the head at 4:00 in the morning.
Daily medicine.
Ding, 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 ding. He be banging us in the head at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Getting us up early. But it's true. We are, he always says this, we are each other's medicine.
That's right.
And it's true.
That's right.
We got about 4 minutes left. I want to give you the floor. Say whatever you want.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for all the kind words. That's number one. All the encouraging words. The first time that you came on the group chat for Prison Survivor Network, you had mentioned something to me in front of everyone, and I needed to hear that. I talked about when at that time I had been to Morocco twice, but just to be able to hear people say, "Hey, Mr. Rasul, Mr. Rasul, Mr. Rasul," and you told me that I didn't have to go to Morocco in order to feel that way. And I was like, wow, that's profound. I love the energy you bring. And this is another reason why I love the organization, is because it's like he has the perfect people that be on the call every Sunday morning. So I appreciate you for being you. I've learned a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to take this time out really just to thank everyone who have been supportive. Every single one. I can't name everyone, but everyone who has been supportive. The Prison Survivor Network, I want to thank them from Dr. Batts down. I want to thank Second Chance Books from Sheikh Bagernajad down. I want to thank the Hassan family. And again, I know I'm going to be missing some people, forgetting some people's, pardon me, but the Hassan family and so many others. And so many others. As far as with my son, I want you, I'm assuming he's watching this now. Listen, man, I'm ready for us to be able to play this basketball game again. You beat me the last time we played. Right now he's in the state of Montana, and he's trying to find himself, so to speak. And I love the man that he's becoming. Amen. And I want to thank him.
What's his name? You can't say all that and not say his name.
Yeah, my son's name is Steven, but we call him BJ.
BJ, okay. And how old is BJ?
BJ is 25. So that's my mini me. That's my
mini me. BJ, keep giving daddy the business. His knees is old.
And I want to most definitely, like I said, thank my family. They've been so supportive when I was in prison and coming home. They've been supportive. And everyone else. And especially, of course. There. Oh, there you go, right there, man. Yeah, I love you, man. And I want to thank my wife. I know we got about a minute or two, but we met like on an Islamic dating or like a marriage site. And one day she said something to me, and it was like I needed to hear that. It was like the right time, the right place, and everything. At that time, I was on my way going to Trinidad. So I told Dr. Batts in Trinidad, I said, listen, man, I'm thinking about asking this woman to marry me when I go back to America. He was like, sure, go for it. And I did. And she ended up saying yes. So I appreciate you, Khalifa, and everyone else, like I said, has been supportive. And support this show. Be empowered. Everyone support this show. Like, share, subscribe. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time. I know you've been up since early this morning. It has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure getting to know you outside of this podcast.
Likewise.
And I look forward to seeing all of the good things that you are doing. We are going into a new year, and I don't like that new year, new me, but the new year this time is the time to reflect. It's the time to look at what 2025 has taught you, has taught me, taught us, and really sit back and take inventory of what you want your next steps to be. And like I said, we've heard a lot of the key components of that. You got to have a plan. You have to take accountability. You have to have a vision, and then you have to move forward. Do it scared, do it anxious, do it with your people, do it alone if you have to. But know that the Prison Survivor Network and Be Empowered is here for you.
That's right.
Hit us up. Good night, everybody.
Peace.